Well, voter fraud, just one raindrop in the torrent of news that came out in this first week of the Trump presidency. Joining us now from Washington, Chuck Todd of Meet the Press. Chuck, have they told you yet that Meet the Press is going to be a 6-hour program every week?
It's funny, I've already made the request to at least give me another hour. We're going to alert all the affiliates and it's like, watch out, we're going to keep going. No, it does feel that way. This week was a tale of two Donald Trumps in this first week. One was the guy trying to keep promises, sign executive orders, hit the ground running, and then the other was the guy that let his vanity get in his own way. And it's been very hard to disaggregate the two, but in some ways, this was what it was like with Donald Trump, the candidate.
Yeah, exactly, which I think has buoyed many of his supporters, no doubt. But I want to talk particularly here a little bit about the role for people like you and I. We typically don't enjoy being a part of the story, and now that we're being characterized by Steve Bannon as the opposition party, this is a tricky spot.
Yeah. Look, it's a tricky spot if we engage in that way. I mean, look, it's a political tactic. This is no different than the Nixon White House, the Johnson White House, the Carter White House, the Reagan White House, blah, 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 blah. I can go down the line. Clinton White House, very antagonizing toward the press. And there were even times the Obama White House was. So on one hand, it's not new if you've been doing this a while. I've been doing this 25 years, and I'm used to antagonistic relationships with White Houses. Again, the Clinton White House, probably the most antagonistic in my lifetime. But look, I think what was inappropriate on Steve Bannon's part was the shut up part. There is times when it feels as if the White House is not a full-fledged defender of the First Amendment, and I think that there are many people inside that White House that think Steve Bannon went too far.
Last thing I wanted to ask you about, though, is the way that the chairs have changed in this interesting game. Democrats forever have said that we need more protectionist trade policy. They now have a president who's trying to give them that. Republicans used to cringe at the very word tariff, and yet now there are many of them trying to support a president who's doing that. The game has changed in really bizarre ways.
Don't say tariff, border adjustment tax, right? You're not supposed to say tariff or anything like that. No,
right.
Look, that's the language here. It is fascinating, and I think that this is the opportunity that Donald Trump has. He is, on one hand, look, he's reshaping what it means to be a Republican, at least when it comes to trade, potentially to trade policy. But this is an opportunity for him to create a coalition in Washington that may, include sort of one part of the Republican coalition in Congress and one part of the Democratic coalition. The question is, does he go down that road to try to build unique coalitions like that, or does everybody get into their partisan corners because if Trump's for it, Democrats are automatically against it and all that stuff? So I'll tell you, one person to watch, Debbie Stabenow. She's up for re-election. Yep. How will she play? How will she do on things like this that may play well in Michigan with some of her constituents, even if it's not something, even if it's something that supports Trump?
No doubt about it. Chuck, we look forward to Meet the Press this week. Thanks for the time today.
You got it. Thank you. Karen?